Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Obscure Review. This time spotlighting PS3 and Xbox 360 fighter Battle Fantasia. Battle Fantasia was an arcade port released to very little fanfare. It features 12 characters and an absolutely gorgeous art style. A traditional 2D fighter where Battle Fantasia lacks in depth, it makes up for in its uniqueness. The game features 3D characters, but the characters are restricted to a two-dimensional plane, giving the whole thing a really unique look and feel. Add to this a whimsical fantasy setting, and you have a game that is a really interesting little curiosity to look at. Battle Fantasia was a little bit of a flop on its release, and although I enjoy it greatly, it's so easy to see why. While a good game in its own right, it simply doesn't hold a candle to the big heavy hitters of the genre. And with Street Fighter 4 being released just 1 month later, it came out at an awkward time, and didn't seem to be certain of the audience it was going after. While not a simplistic pick up and play title like Smash Bros, Battle Fantasia also didn't have the technical edge that so many people pick up 2D fighters for. It sort of sits on a middle line in between the realms of a mindless button masher and a technical, more tournament styled fighter. It really is an underrated little gem though, because it's almost in this lack of knowing who to target, it breaks out into its own niche. It somehow manages to be great for casual party play, yet if you fully intended to, there's potential here to become seriously good at it. I personally feel that in a way it's a little refreshing. It doesn't demand too much of its players, and you can have a lot of fun with it straight off the bat. And although it's not the deepest thing in the world, it really is a nice diversion. Its biggest strength is without a doubt though, its presentation. While its character roster is small, each one of them is well designed. You won't find any palette swaps here. The environments, menus, special attacks and everything else all look great. The whole thing is a sort of pirate slash fairy tale vibe that I've not seen present in any other fighter, or any other game for that matter. Although some find it a little too sugary sweet, I think it's a really enjoyable look. If presentation is its greatest strength though, its weakest link is in its depth. As mentioned before, there are only 12 characters. While each of these 12 characters has a story mode, these aren't exactly gripping tales with massive production values. Cutscenes in this mode consist mostly of very slightly animated cutouts and text telling the story, most of which are just so ridiculously anime that sometimes their forced melodrama can be a little hard to swallow. The story modes are also short, and the only real alternative is the arcade mode or survival mode, which is basically the same thing, without the cutscenes. There are no unlockables except for a few pieces of concept art, as far as I can tell, and really outside of the core gameplay, there just isn't much to do. There isn't even online support. It's really held back by these limitations as a game, because what is there is actually really fun. It's just the same, there's not much of it. That said, if you can get a few friends into it for multiplayer, it's easy to have a blast with this thing, especially now that you can get it for less than a $5. Okay guys, so that's another episode of the Obscure Review in the bag. Be sure to check us out on YouTube if you aren't watching us on there, and feel free to like, subscribe or comment with feedback. Cheers!